Hello, I'm Moira Alderson with the BBC News. Pope Francis has been diagnosed with a respiratory infection. In a statement, the Vatican said the Pope, who's 86, had been admitted to Rome's Gemelli Hospital for checks earlier in the day and would need to spend a few days there for treatment. Davide Giglione is the BBC's Rome producer.
His condition is stable at the moment, but what people are really concerned about is the Pope's willingness to resign in case he's unwell, because we know that he said repeatedly, especially over the last couple of months in different interviews, that if he's not feeling well, if he's not feeling healthy enough, he said he wants to resign because he doesn't have the strength. But at the moment, we're not particularly worried in Rome about the Pope's health. He's more concerned about not being able to have the strength to go on as a Pope.
The UN General Assembly has asked the world's top court to issue a legal opinion on the obligation of countries to combat climate change. The landmark vote was greeted by cheers and follows a 4-year campaign led by the Pacific island nation of Vanuatu. The Prime Minister, Ismael Kalsakau, said the vote was a significant victory for his people.
Today, we have witnessed a win for climate justice of epic proportions. I celebrate today with the people of Vanuatu, who are still reeling from the devastation from 2 back-to-back cyclones this month, caused by the fossil fuels and greenhouse emissions that they are not responsible for.
The Colombian president has called for a meeting of the country's peace delegation and guarantor countries following the deaths of 9 soldiers in an attack. Gustavo Petro said the ELN rebel group carried out the killings despite being engaged in peace talks. The Mexican president Andrés Manuel López Obrador says the people responsible for a deadly fire at a detention centre on Monday will be punished. 38 migrants died at the facility in the border city of Ciudad Juárez. Authorities are facing mounting scrutiny over why the victims weren't freed. Security camera footage appears to show guards leaving as flames engulfed a cell with people trapped inside. Will Grant is in Mexico City.
The footage appears to have been leaked to the media. At one point, at least one of the migrants attempts to kick the door open. He's obviously not successful in that. And there are guards walking around outside the cell. They then leave when the flames get too severe. And that is the question that a lot of journalists are asking. And when they asked President Andrés Manuel López Obrador in his daily press briefing, he accused them of being more interested in sensationalism than in the pain and the well-being of the trapped migrants.
World News from the BBC. Police in Senegal have fired tear gas and stun grenades at people demonstrating in the capital Dakar ahead of the libel trial of an opposition leader. Authorities have banned protests relating to the resumption of Ousmane Sonko's court case, but the main opposition coalition says it will defy the restrictions. On the eve of more opposition protests in Kenya, the Interior Ministry has said the country is on the brink of chaos. It has vowed to deploy a robust police presence to stop what it calls a descent into anarchy. There have been several violent confrontations over recent days between supporters of the opposition politician Raila Odinga and the police. The World Football Authority FIFA has stripped Indonesia of the right to host this year's Under-20 World Cup tournament. FIFA said the decision was taken after the governor of the Indonesian island of Bali refused to host the Israeli football squad. There have also been safety concerns following a disaster last October in which more than 130 football fans were crushed as they tried to leave a stadium in Malang. A cast of one of the biggest dinosaurs ever to walk the earth is about to go on display at the Natural History Museum in London. The 37-metre-long Patagotitan is so large, curators have had to reinforce the floor of the museum to support it. Paul Barrett is from the Natural History Museum.
This is one of the largest animals that's ever walked the earth. So it really pushes at the limits of what a giant animal can do on land. And with this exhibition, we wanted to explore how those really large animals could actually push flesh and bone to create these giant bodies, and what that means for their biology, and also what it means for large living animals today.
The dinosaur, which was discovered in Argentina in 2014, is estimated to have weighed between 60 and 70 tonnes in life. That's the latest BBC News.
Hello.